of the Unicorns of Love. Let's head over for a closer look into that win.
Thank you very much, Pyro. We're here with VODS and Visit Chachi after that heart-stopping comeback versus Fnatic. We saw you, VODS, especially jumping up and just hugging Hylissang and going all crazy. How much does it mean to upset one of the #1 teams here in Europe?
It's amazing. Like, SK and Fnatic tied first place with 4-0, so we were super hyped about the game and we planned a lot for this, and we're super happy to actually pull out a win here.
Yeah, you tell me you planned a lot. Visit Chachi, that Fizz pick. Actually, the Fisher was sitting here, credit where credit is due, and said maybe it would go in the top lane. Tell us about the plan forming to put that Fizz top.
Yeah, after the recent change, I tried out Fizz top, and I think it works really good. The early game went pretty badly for us this time, though, and I couldn't get rolling. So I had to just AFK farm mostly in the game and let my team do the job.
Yeah, especially after the early 4v2 dive it was, like Kikis was kind of like away on the golems and stuff like that, so you basically didn't manage to dive 4v2 and you fell behind. How did you actually manage to come back into the game as Fizz, because you were quite reliant on farm?
Yeah, during the dive, Hylissang called that he will stun, and we could just follow up, but somehow the stun just didn't manage to land through. After that, I was just top lane most of the time, try to farm up and come with TP if my team needs me.
Okay.
Yeah, when your team needs you in those team fights, you guys were very strong together. Let's actually pull a replay up on the screen from a dragon you guys got very early in the game. We're going to pull that up on the screen. Maybe, VODS, if you can guide us through this fight and how you guys played it, you can roll the clip.
All right, so basically in this fight, we know we have Nidalee and we just want to poke a lot. And we know that Annie has flash, and she actually flashes in and only get Kikis. And at this point, we're in a pretty good position, with Hylissang getting a great ultimate. And at this point, their front line is pretty much dead, so we can just roll over them.
Yep.
And Chachi actually gets a double kill here, which is great for him to come back into the game.
Yeah, exactly. Also your portal to get back into the game. The story of the dragons for me also tells the story of the game, because right after actually, or with the next dragon, Fnatic was able to outsmart you guys and win the fight. Can you tell me a little about the up and down in the game? Because at some point it really looked like Fnatic was taking the upper hand to close out.
We were too slow to call the TPs. Like when Nar TP'd, I was calling for a spot to TP, but there was no wards or anything nearby. And by the time the ward just got down and I TP'd, it was already too late. So it was a bit of lack of coordination and communication from our side, which if I just TP earlier, I think the fight is totally ours there as well.
Funny you mentioned the lack of communication, because on a call later on, you guys decide to push the top lane, which could have been risky, but you knew you had the upper hand at that point. Why was that?
It was all about the vision. Like, we see where they are, and we just can call at that point, like, or we know we're going to push faster. We have Nidalee for the speed with the heal. We have Corki with Triforce. We have Fizz. Like, we can push really fast, and we decided to go for it.
Maurice, where do you think Fnatic dropped the ball in this one?
I think you had a couple of team fights where Fnatic's blind trust into the flash Annie ult actually like hurt them a lot. You saw it in the top lane, for example, when they tried to engage and he flashed into the charm. You saw it in the replay that we just saw. He flashed in, got an ult off, but it wasn't good enough. And the blind trust that Fnatic basically has in the shot calling there, in the engage, forced them to overcommit on certain objectives and on certain like enemies, and therefore they basically dropped the ball there.
Overcommitting at some objectives. We actually have another replay of a dragon fight later in the game, which actually occurs, if we can get that up on the screen, after Fnatic got Baron. And you guys choose to contest and somehow pull out the win here in this fight. We can roll the clip, and VODS maybe can run us through it.
So basically at this point, we felt like we can still fight them, because the Baron still gives them combat stats, but not too much. Hylissang goes in a bit deep, and they actually use the Tibbers. So we feel a bit strong here, and Corki and Annie are kind of split from the rest, and I'm very healthy. So I just go for it, and Annie's getting real low, and we get double kill, and after this they're so split that we just clean up the fight.
You guys clean up here, because Chachi's gonna die, I think. Yeah, didn't get away from that one.
That was the clone, by the way.
The Nidalee pick also, how much did your plan get thrown up by the fact that we saw it in the first game of the day? Was Kikis like, damn, now the trick is gone, or were you guys going to go with it regardless?
We were a bit worried that it will be banned after the first game, because SK had such a great success on her, and we have been building our whole team comp around it during the weeks. We have been just practicing Nidalee all the time, so we were a bit afraid, but luckily it just got through, and Fnatic didn't even pick it up.
Oh, they didn't. They let you have it. A final question for you, maybe, VODS. Before this game, we were actually discussing, do the Unicorns of Love have what it takes to take down the top-tier teams? The answer is yes, but only for Fnatic for now. How do you think this has changed your approach to maybe if you replay Elements and you replay SK Gaming, because they have a different style of play? Will it work also against them, you feel?
I think so, yes. I think that we practice a lot and we get better all the time. And this is also our first split in the LCS. So I think with a bit more experience against the top teams, we can definitely challenge them.
Well, you took down Fnatic, so I would say that there's definitely a chance. Thank you very much. Congratulations. The Unicorns of Love taking down Fnatic. It's time for us to take a break. But when we return, Meet Your Makers will face the powerhouse roster of Elements. You won't want to miss it.
I love it. Rainover is low, and so is Hylissang, but he's the one that makes it out. Jump the waters on. Yellow Star targeted down, fired. Visit Chachi Febibin having a flash away.
No. Fizz. Hurry. Leona. Hurry. Fizz here.
Okay, I'm going.
He's alone.
Nice. Here comes the rest of the Unicorns, and they're going to try to save the play. Hylissang already out. Steelback extremely low. VODS is going to manage to pick up the kill. He uses Gnar on Power of Evil. They're going to maybe blow him up. No. Zanya's Hourglass on. Rainover goes down. Huni, Hylissang locking up the backline. Towers are falling and all of the craziness. Fnatic is mortal after all, and the Unicorns of Love take a win in Week 3.